Today is going to be I think a docutainment. Yeah, we'll go with docutainment. Hello, everybody. My name is Corey. Kyle's not here. Kyle is sick. But we both agreed that we needed to get some content out. And I said that I would film and that I would put a representation of him here. So this is sick Kyle. I made a promise. Anyway, on Docutainment today, we're going to do something a little different. It doesn't look like BTS went to the White House yesterday. I didn't know about it. I was actually traveling all day yesterday, driving from upper U.S. down to our home in Florida with my family on a small little mini vacation. So I missed all of it. I woke up this morning and I was like, it was everywhere. It was all over the news. So I was like, we got to do that. So I have not seen this. And so we're going to watch the actual White House meeting with BTS, and then we'll talk about it. And I may give some time to some comments that I saw on Twitter and things, and we'll kind of go through why we still have this problem. But anyway, let's get right into it. So I think I paused it right at where Kenley comes in and introduces BTS, but let's go ahead and start. So they should be coming in any moment. Yeah, I may not have paused or stopped at the right section. But I do know that this was supposed to be a multifaceted meeting. This was like a Fed chair, things like that. Also, because of the month, yesterday was the last day. I think it's AAPI, and they invited BTS to speak up. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. So much excitement. I know it's the Fed chair meeting, right?
Yeah, Fed chair meeting.
I know. We got Bloomberg. Forget about me. I know, it's not about me. Okay, so today on the final day of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I'm excited to welcome some special guests to the briefing room today, pop phenoms BTS.
So with RM standing in the middle, more than likely he's going to do all the talking.
Many of you may know BTS as Grammy-nominated international icons. They also play an important role as youth ambassadors, promoting a message of respect and positivity. After this briefing, they will join President Biden in a discussion about Asian inclusion, representation, and diversity, as well as addressing an anti-Asian hate crimes and discrimination. As many of you know, the president has led a historic whole-of-government approach to combat racism, xenophobia, and intolerance facing ANHPI communities. Beginning his first week in office when he issued a presidential memorandum leveraging the power of the federal government to stand against this hate. The president also signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act into law, signed an executive order to reestablish the White House Initiative on Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and funded critical research to prevent and address xenophobia against AA and NHPI communities. So without further ado, I will let the band take it from here. They're gonna each speak. We have a interpreter somewhere here. There you go. Good to see you. So they'll each speak first, and then the interpreter will come back up and interpret what they just said. They're not going to take any questions. They're just going to come here and give some words, and then we'll start the briefing. Thank you. Go ahead, guys.
Thank you, Karine, for your kind words. And hi, we're BTS, and it is a great honor to be invited to the White House today to discuss the important issues of anti-Asian hate crimes, Asian inclusion, and diversity.
네, 오늘은 AANHPI 헤리티지 먼스의 마지막 날입니다. 저희는 AANHPI 커뮤니티와 뜻을 함께하고 기념하기 위해 오늘 백악관에 왔습니다.
네, 최근 아시아계를 대상으로 한 많은 증오 범죄에 굉장히 놀랍고 또 마음이 안 좋았는데요. 이런 일이 근절되는데 조금이라도 도움이 되고자 오늘 이 자리를 빌어
They're
목소리를
very reminiscent of the Beatles in a lot of
네, 오늘
aspects.
저희가 이 자리에 올 수 있었던 것은 저희의 음악을 사랑해 주시는 다양한 국적, 언어, 문화를 가진 저희의 팬, 아미 여러분들이 계셨기에 이 자리에 올 수 있었던 것을 정말 감사합니다.
네, 한국인의 음악이 서로 다른 언어와 문화를 넘어서 전 세계 많은 분들께 닿을 수 있다는 게 아직까지도 좀 신기하고 근데 신기한 것 같습니다. 그리고 이 모든 걸 연결을 시켜주는 음악이란 건 좀 참으로 훌륭한 매개체가 아닌가 싶습니다.
나와 다르다고 그것은 잘못된 일이 아닙니다. 옳고 그름이 아닌 다름을 인정하는 것으로부터 평등은 시작된다고 생각합니다.
네, 우리는 모두의 각자의 역사를 가지고 있습니다. 오늘 한 사람 한 사람이 의미 있는 존재로서 서로 존중하고 이해하기 위한 또 한 걸음이 되기를 바랍니다.
And lastly, we thank President Biden and the White House for giving this important opportunity to speak about the important causes, remind ourselves of what we can do as artists. Once again, thank you very much.
I'll provide an interpretation in Korean and English. 우리말과 영어로 통역 간략하게 전달드리겠습니다. 남준 씨는 친절한 소개 감사합니다. 방탄소년단입니다. 오늘 백악관에 초청받아서 반아시아계 혐오 범죄 그리고 아시아계 포용 그리고 다양성에 대해 논의하는 자리를 가지게 되어 정말 큰 영광입니다. Jun said today is the last day of the AANHPI Heritage Month. We joined the White House to stand with the AANHPI community and to celebrate. Jimmy said we were devastated by the recent surge of hate crimes, including Asian American hate crimes. To put a stop on this and support the cause, we'd like to take this opportunity to voice ourselves once again. Jacob said we are here today thanks to our army, our fans worldwide, who have different nationalities and cultures and use different languages.
So I wasn't going to pause. I wasn't. I was going to let it go all the way through. But a couple of things. One, you know, they've already made this promise. I think back in 2018 to the UN, and again they've done it. I think on a yearly basis that they will continue to speak out against hate and racism and things like that. And I think this is just them living up to that commitment. I also think it's very, very interesting that even in this huge public platform, that they still will reference and give thanks to the Army because it is so important to them. And I also think that it's fair to say that they're not just artists like RM says, we're just artists. That's not true. Well, yes, it is true, but they also are worldwide phenomena that have such a huge following, and when the Army gets involved, a lot of things change. So I do find it interesting that they will reference, and not in a bad way, this is a good thing, that they will reference the Army because they know the power that is there. So a lot of these people that are probably sitting in this room have no idea what they're talking about, like probably no idea when they talk about the Army. Some of these people probably think they're talking about a real army. And that's just American politics and journalism. Not all of them. So for all of you journalists out there that are American, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm just talking about some of them in this room. So we'll get back to it.
We are truly and always grateful. Jungkook said, we still feel surprised that music created by South Korean artists reaches so many people around the world, transcending languages and cultural barriers.
They're extremely
I believe
humble.
music is always an amazing and wonderful unifier of all things. Shiga said it's not wrong to be different. I think equality begins when we open up and embrace all of our differences. V said everyone has their own history. We hope today is one step forward to respecting and understanding each and every one as a valuable person. 마지막으로 남준 씨가 중요한 문제에 대해 함께 이야기하고 우리가 아티스트로서 무엇을 할 수 있는지 생각할 기회를 만들어 주신 바이든 대통령님과 백악관에 감사드립니다. 감사합니다.
What does it mean to you to come to the White House? We're gonna go. They're not gonna take any questions, but thank you so much, guys.
So, again, this is what she said at the beginning. They're not going to take any
Thank you, guys.
questions.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
But for all of you that are not familiar with
Thank you, guys.
American journalism, especially in a White House meeting,
All right.
let's stop this here.
Okay.
They will shout questions regardless, just hoping that they can get a response. And it's not a negative thing. They probably really have some legitimate questions. And honestly, I would love for BTS to have answered questions, because I think that they would give a unique perspective on some of those questions. But I get it, right? You don't want to put them in a situation where they may say something that even their label, their representatives, their agents or anything are not comfortable with. I don't think they would do that, but I do think that they would give unique answers that would give some context to what they think, what they believe, what they're fighting for, things like that. But I get it, right? So when I was looking at the article, because I woke up and I usually go through like news, things like that, and I was looking at the article, and the comments, some of them are fantastic, but I want to go through some of these comments because I think it'll give some context of why we still have the problems that we have, right? So here's the first comment, and I'll try to post them up on the screen, redacted, without the user's name or logo or anything like that, because I'm not trying to, one, give name to people that have a problem, and two, I don't want anybody to receive any kind of hate. So I know these guys have a huge fan base around the world and they're respected, but don't you think an American citizen would have been an ambassador for this topic? I'm just pointing out this out, nothing against BTS. So when you start a comment with like no hate or nothing against BTS, it means you have something against BTS. Had this person actually probably paid attention to the entire month, they had Asian American citizens all throughout the month speak about this. I know that Stevie Aoki was up there. Who else? I don't know right off the top of my head, but there were Asian American citizens throughout this entire process. So for them to say, well, don't you think that would have been better? This was also the very last day of the month. And this was kind of the big send-off. So this is the problem. Somebody actually did respond to him and say, American citizens have been speaking all month. BTS is speaking on the last day of the month. The fact that the coverage for BTS being so large as compared to others speaks volumes about to the point of their attendance. And that's true. A lot of people probably didn't know that other Asian American citizens have spoken, because a lot of press was given to BTS. And that's not a bad thing. Let's see here. Somebody else had something to say. Sounds wildly important given the current political sounds wildly important given the current political climate. Was it an Asian school that just got fucked up in Texas, or question mark? Again, this is just somebody that wants to take, wants to take the focus off of the purpose of this month and use another tragedy to try to spin it in their direction. Somebody else said last year they pledged for the UN Keep the Promise campaign. They do as they say, right? Call out racism and hate speech. And that's just somebody that's saying, listen, they've said that they're going to continue to do this, and they're doing that. For anyone interested, they promoted the global goals and asked their fans to make a pledge. They used their platform for good. So this is probably an army speaking out on their behalf. Another one. No shade intended, but the POC that are U.S. citizens, people of color, that are U.S. citizens, might take this as an affront after all the problems of the past 600 years of white supremacy in this part of the world. Okay. Somebody responded back, glad you didn't intend any shade. The White House has actually been inviting multiple Asian American celebrities, public figures throughout May. BTS has just gotten the most press, it seems, and they've always used their platform to speak on issues. So, oh, 1 second. Be right back. Sorry, when your daughter screams, you have to go running. What I was saying. So, earlier I said they are very reminiscent of the Beatles, and they are. Not only in the way that they hold themselves, the way that they dress, their music, right? So they're not from the U.S. and yet their music stretches across multiple cultures, multiple languages, all of that. Also, they were very, very outspoken when it came to sometimes on the American politics. Who else is also outspoken is U2. Now, I'm not a huge fan of U2, but they are always outspoken and they try to use their platform for good. So this seems to be a lot what BTS does. I wanted to read some of these comments because it does give us some insight into why we continue to have the problems that we do. Like BTS comes up, they speak on the issue, they give their insight, they call on the army to, continue to make the pledge. There's 90 million plus army members around the world. That's a huge portion. They can do more good than most bands or most celebrities. And so when people have a problem with that, then they just have a problem with it in general. And the fact that they have a problem with BTS being there, it just speaks volumes, right? So again, just going through some of the comments, there's just ridiculous. There's a lot of good ones though. A lot of really, really good ones. With their great popularity and influence to the world, the topic will gain more attention because of these amazing guys. I'm happy to see them speak about it, though they've been speaking about it for years, which is true. They've been speaking about it for years. Thankful to BTS for utilizing their global platform to address the issue. Like they said, accept the differences because diversity is nature. So it says, negative people will never be missing in the comments. They are already really tired if they say so much that the fans are being toxic. Please don't be double-sided totally. I don't agree with those people. In short, BTS will continue to make history. That's basically saying, listen, we're always going to have haters in the comments, right? Don't feed into it. Don't get into an argument with them. Just let it be. So again, it was great to see them. I wish there would have been more time, right? I wish they would have been allowed to take questions. And I think that they would have, had they been allowed to. But they weren't, and I get it. Again, it's a shame that this whole month has to be a thing and that BTS has to continuously speak about it. But they are, and they're going to continue to do so. So again, I wanted to make sure that we got this out there and see what you think. Really are interested in what you have to say. Please comment. Be kind in the comments. Even if you don't agree with him being up there or whatever, be kind, right? I don't think we see that a lot in our comments. But again, comment. Let's talk about it. Let's have those conversations. And thank you to Sick Kyle for coming up and joining the conversation. He added a lot, I think. Don't you think so? We're going to be doing some more episodes. I think I may have my son on in Kyle's place also as we do some more. We're going to add some episodes to our Patreon page. I think we're doing Boy with Love later on our Patreon page. There's Anderson .Paak, Tiny Desk concert going up on our Patreon page. So, and then we'll do some more for our YouTube channel, assuming they don't get blocked. Look forward to seeing all the comments and having these conversations. My name is Corey. Sick Kyle. Peace.